in conversation with Hemali, COVID, oh my goodness, the dreaded COVID-19. The elderly are being advised to stay home from the COVID-19 battlefield. But my guest today, Mr. Arup Sengupta, a 70-year-old TB survivor, is on the streets of Calcutta to help thousands of poor families in these tough times. He is on a mission to help parents feed their children so that they do not go to bed on an empty stomach. A TB survivor who has been distributing ration kits to the needy in Calcutta. He believes he has survived tuberculosis because he was meant to do his part in this situation of the coronavirus. He had an established career, an established corporate background and experience of 46 years, having worked with multinational companies. He retired from Vision India Staffing Private Limited as Director of Business Excellence and moved to Calcutta to pursue his dream of becoming a philanthropist and supporting the unfortunate through various projects with funds coming from friends and family, as well as his own contribution, which continues till date. In December 2016, in the cold winters, with rupees 10,000, he bought blankets for the poor on the streets and started Notun Jibon, an NGO working among sex workers and their children. And from there began a journey of providing food to the elderly and the needy, education in the form of Sahaj Path Remedial School, ration kits to the sex workers. They are into education for the children who have been left behind to fend for themselves. Respected sir, we welcome you. Thank you very, very much for being with us today.
Thank you very much. It's actually an honor to be speaking to you and to the world. It's very meaningful, this dialogue. When you've given such a big introduction, it's very difficult to overcome that, So I'll start, from where it all started. Okay.
Wonderful, sir.
Born into mixed parents, my mother Filipino, father Bengali, and Baba was working in the tea gardens of Assam.
Right.
So that's where the wildness in me came up, because I was more comfortable with animals than I was with human beings. And I was quite a brat. So they put me off to boarding school in Darjeeling.
Okay.
And education was very good. I came from affluent, family, and I didn't see poverty, except for the fact that in my tea garden, there used to be a pathshala, as we call it in Bengali, a school with a thatched house.
All right.
In fact, today when I'm in Sundarban, I have a school there in the same module, the same description, and it's called Pathshala. Pathshala is the first level of schooling in the Bengal villages. So, I carried forward what I saw then in the early 50s. 1960 was a bad year for me because I contracted tuberculosis while I was in school. And I was bleeding profusely. So they asked me to come back to Calcutta for treatment. And as I was entering my home, my landlord saw me bleeding and asked my mother, who had gone to receive me, what's wrong? So she said TB, tuberculosis.
Right.
And we were not allowed to go inside the house.
Wow.
So with my bag and bag, dressed up in my school tie and suit, we went to the parish because by religion, we are both Roman Catholics.
Okay.
And the parish just gave us a small note saying, go and meet a Sister Teresa. In those days, Mother Teresa was called Sister Teresa.
Wow.
In the early 60s. She still hadn't got to become a mother, right?
Right. Okay.
So, people in Bengal are more, it's very common to say sister rather than mother, because that's a very alien word, the word mother. So when we went and met sister, she didn't believe that I needed shelter. till she actually saw me bleed. Okay, when she saw me bleed, she got worried. And she said, look, I don't have a bed, except there's one mattress on the footpath. Would you
Oh
take
my
it? I said,
goodness.
sure. And, and she just looked at me and smiled. So, are you sure? I said, I am sure. And I was bleeding, lay on the ground, and I was there for about 2 or 3 nights. And then on the fourth morning, she gave me a railway ticket and told me to go to Kurseong.
Okay.
That's in Darjeeling.
All
And I
right.
was there for 2 years, as a TB patient. And I was told that I was given about 7 months, I think, to live.
That's
That was the span that I was supposed to be living. And every day I saw death.
oh my goodness.
We
How
found
scary.
bodies, and all of that happened. Yeah, very scary, very scary. So I think, somewhere there, the seed of doing something came about. Not a very brilliant student. I was a brilliant sports person. So becoming a doctor was out of the question, because I would probably kill more patients than I would revive. And came back cured, went to thank Mother Teresa. And I used to do a lot of work with her, helping her, wrap up bandages and things like that. Because that's what the leprosy patient needed a lot of gauze bandage to be put into their hands, and we would do that.
Right.
This is something I want to tell you now, that I never saw Mother wearing a mask. I never saw her wearing a glove. Never saw her wearing gloves. And yet, she never contracted the disease. She lived till the age of, I think, 87.
Right.
Died a very peaceful death. And I remember, when we used to come and give her tea, she wouldn't wash her hands. She would just wipe her hands on her body, because she had
Oh
an
my
apron
goodness.
on. And,
Oh
and
my
take
goodness.
chai, drink tea with us. And that's what, today when I see COVID, I have the same, the fearlessness that nothing happened to her, and she's there protecting me. So how can I contact it?
Right.
Sure, I take my precautions. We wear the mask. We sanitize. I worked with her. I started climbing up the corporate ladder.
Right.
So the corporate ladder made me climb up, got me a lot of money, got me a lot of fame. And then after 46 years, I thought, my life is complete in the corporate world, and I should just chuck it up. And, I didn't even tell my wife. I just bought an air ticket to Calcutta. I came down to Calcutta and I started looking around as to what to do. I was here for about 2 months, roaming around the countryside. Entire West Bengal, I roamed around, trying to understand what is my vocation. And my wife joined me. And then we had Jhumki Banerjee, a common friend who also came in with her daughter. And we said, yeah, actually, Jhumki asked me, what are you going to do for the 31st of December? You'll be going to the club. I said, no, I'm not a club person. I'm a teetotaler. I don't drink or smoke. And clubbing for me is nothing. So what are you going to do? I said, I'm going to distribute blankets.
Oh,
so
wow.
She said, can I come? I said, welcome. So her 15-year-old daughter, Shubhangi, herself, Jhumki was about 38, 39, Dalia and myself, we loaded my Alto car with 200 blankets. And at 12 o'clock, as the bell rang for the new year, we were on the cold roads of Calcutta, as you mentioned, distributing blankets, and we did that till 4 in the morning.
Wow.
What shook me, and it shook the child also, Shubhangi was just 15, was that there were rickshawalas and beggars sleeping and covering themselves up with newspapers.
Oh my goodness.
Okay? And they didn't have anything on them. So we just started covering them up with blankets, and anyone we found which had tattered blankets, we covered them up. Didn't even know it. Some woke up, touched our feet, and that was, I don't like people touching my feet.
Sure.
And I told them, please don't do that. And so that was the first night of it. And then I said, yeah, if my friends are donating money, why don't I put it on Facebook?
Oh,
So
wow.
that year, 2016, we gave about 6,000 blankets, you know. So it started out as something that Jhumki and her daughter wanted to see. For me, it was a vocation. And slowly we said, let's start working with street children, right? I don't know Bengali, although I married a Bengali. So
Okay.
Jhumki and my wife would come on the roads with me, and we, catch all the roadside homeless children. Now, the fun of this, and that's what most NGOs don't do,
Right.
they service the homeless people in the morning. We service the homeless people in the night, because
Right.
night is when they need us. They don't need us during the day, because they are either begging or doing some menial work or doing something. So 10
Sure.
o'clock in the night, we would go out, distributing medicines, blankets, clothes, shoes, socks, you name it, and we used to give it to them, even camcords. Can you imagine my Alto? You know how small that
Yes.
thing car is.
Of course.
We used to load up three cots, tear my seat, and give it to these expectant mothers, or grievously sick elderly, because
Ah.
the roads used to get flooded and they needed to be above ground.
Oh my
So we did
goodness.
this for 2 years, and Mr. Arif Wazir Ali, my senior from school, he's the first one that said, "Here, let me send you some money." And he's also, the chairman of Global Calcium Private Limited. And 1966, he and myself used to go out into the bastis in Darjeeling, every Sunday doing work. So here was Arif. He saw me on Facebook. He said, "Yeah, I must send you some money." So he sent
Oh,
us handsome, 1 lakh, 50,000, 20,000. Didn't even ask for a receipt and all that. And that's how Arif and me got together. And as the money started coming in, naturally our work also started increasing.
of
And
course.
others started chipping in. Others started chipping in. We registered the NGO. And one day I was at Mother Teresa, where I used to sleep on the footpath. And I was there with Jhumki, and I was talking to Mother. I talk a lot to Mother Teresa.
Okay.
People say I'm mad, so be it.
No, that's
So
that's
I
all
was
right.
there in
Yes.
front of a statue, and yeah, and I went live on Facebook in front of our statue, and telling the people that, look, I want to do something and all that. And I started hearing, like voices in my ears: go to the police station, go to the police station, go to the police station, which was just 100 yards away. Just voices in my ears. And I
Okay.
told Jhumki, because she's from that locality, where's the police station? It's just down the road.
Mm-hmm.
When I went there, the officer in charge, Mr. Shantanu, bless his soul, what a sweetheart, what a sweetheart. Very polished, very refined. He was actually drinking green tea. When I went to him, he actually stood up, because I'm always in uniform. I asked you that, can I come on show with the uniform? And
Yeah.
he said, what can I do for you? I said, look, I want to do something for the community. So he said, look, just outside is the sex workers colony. There
Mm-hmm.
are 2,000 sex workers. Just go there and see what you can do. That's all he said. So
Wow.
Jhumki and myself, we went there, and we found that, there were kids all around. We went into the locality, and thank heavens that I had worked with the sex workers in my, different avatars that I held in the corporate world for corporate social responsibility. So going in there for me was not a slur in any way. They're my sisters. And for Jhumki, it was quite an eye opener, because she was not used to this. And
Sure.
then we found there was a club which had some rooms,
Mm-hmm.
and the president told us, please use it, because the boys are misusing it out there. And
Right.
that's where the school happened. So now today's Sahaj Path, as you announced it, it's one
Yes.
of Rabindranath's, one of his poems, which is saying about making life easy. Sahaj means easy, and
All
path
right.
is the way that one walks. So the easy way, walking. We
Sure.
have 40 children there. Some are
Wow.
children of the sex workers. and some are from the local market and outsiders. And all the teachers are from that area itself. And we've been running that school for about a year till COVID happened. I remember 22nd of March, Mamata Banerjee said lockdown. 2 days later, the Prime Minister said lockdown. And I told Jhumki, the world is going to turn. We need to give rations. So on the 24th of March, we gave the school children, 3 kgs of rice, 2 kgs of potatoes, dal and sarson ka tel and all that. And we've been doing that every week till date.
Really?
We did that yesterday also, yeah. Every month we give 400 sex workers the same food and materials. And on the day that the cyclone happened, Amphan, Jhumki and me were actually in Sundarban giving rations. And then we found tin roofs and all flying around. We said, enough is enough, let's go home. Okay, and we drove in that weather, came home, and on the 27th we went back. So every month we are in Sundarban. We are working with widows whose husbands unfortunately are dying because of crocodile attacks or tiger attacks.
Really?
So there is a village, and you can actually do a Google search. It's called Bidhoba Para, a village of the widows. It's a wonderful site. I'll send it to you on a link.
Sure.
It's called Bidhoba Para, village of the widows.
All right. I would love to share that with my viewers also, if you could send it across to me.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the World Heritage Site.
Okay.
And we have 2 schools there. Play school, a primary school, and we have 16 sewing machines where all our girls are making mosquito nets. In fact, the first 55 mosquito nets came out yesterday, and I was live on Facebook and I was actually crying because when we gave them the money for making it, they understood empowerment. They understood women empowerment. We understood that we are making a difference. So much so that by the month end, I am retiring into Sundarban. I'll be living my last life.
Really?
With them. Yeah.
Congratulations, sir. To achieve this feat must have been very difficult, I'm sure.
And absolutely. And a friend of mine has asked me not to name him. He's given 20,000 USD, 20,000 US dollars he sent to open an ashram. Only condition is the ashram should be in his Indian name. Like he's an NRI. So I said, fine. And the name of the ashram is Anand Ashram. Where in Bengal, Anando means happiness.
Right.
So that's the name of the ashram.
Okay.
And I'm going to do the Akanto Apon. It's a difficult pronunciation, which means selfishly mine. I don't want to share it with anyone else. So that's the name for 20 of the dying and the destitute, 10 men and 10 women, which I'll pick up from the roads of Kolkata, put them there. If they survive, God bless. If they don't, give them a gateway into heaven. Make sure that they wear the right clothes. And that's exactly what Mother Teresa was doing. Nirmal Hriday, the name of her institution from where she started, was the dying and the destitute. So I recovered from there, from that place. Right. And that's exactly what I want to do here. So build this place up. And so that's me.
It is a very, very, very interesting story that you shared with us. When people, we all go through our tough times, but when we get back to our good times, we forget about, what we went through in the past. And then, we don't take that step ahead to help out others, but you have done it, sir. And I do understand that, when you began, I'm sure, the donations and all wouldn't just come in, but your work proved it. And that's how people started to believe in you. And they would believe in you further also. Sir, just inquisitiveness. You mentioned that you picked up children who were homeless, and you decided to help the sex workers' children. So how did that come to you?
See, it's very easy because I slept for 4 nights on the footpath. So I know the equation. I know the equation of an ant bite. I know the equation of the rain, and I know the equation of the sun, coming on me.
Wow.
So that equation I had.
Right.
And there are lots of photographs you'll see where I'm actually sleeping with the children even today.
Really?
They come and tell me, Dadu, come lie down with me. Now I can't say I will not.
Wow.
So I get bed bugs. I get, all the sickness, but nothing happens. Nothing happens to me. Hale and hearty, acute COPD. Junki, her daughter and all, they carry all the medicines for me. So equating myself with a homeless child is my child.
Right.
That personality is either my grandchild or my son or daughter. Right. Junki herself is a single mother who I rescued and gave her a home. Today,
Really?
she's a secretary and founder trustee with me. So the moment I pass over, she's going to, do the same work that I'm doing. Hopefully,
Sir,
her daughter, who's into mass communication now, will take over from her. So I'm building a heritage, of single mothers, the sex workers. They're all my brothers and sisters, and whatever little I can do, because my sister also, unfortunately, used to work in a dance bar just to keep me with food.
So why would you say unfortunately? Inquisitiveness. Why would you say unfortunately?
Unfortunate in the sense, our world compares society into 3 levels.
Right.
Absolute have-nots, the
Yes.
haves, and the don't want,
Right.
where we shun them,
Yeah.
And that's the unfortunate people that I want to work with. You see,
Right.
what happens if I don't have something, I can aspire for it, right?
Yep.
Either the hunger or the greed will make me do. These are despondent, right?
Sure.
And they have no livelihood.
Right.
They want to do something. They have no livelihood. So I would say, they are the not wanted citizens of India or the globe. When you look at it globally,
I understand what you
it's
mean.
the same all over.
Yes.
And Bengal is a very, very poverty-stricken state,
Sure.
right? Sundarban, 142 rivers, 8 islands. Rivers are always inundated because the embankments are weak, and one river goes into another river with salt water, and 5 months to 6 months they are all in water.
Oh my
So
goodness.
they can't do anything even if they want to.
Yeah.
So they
I
are the
understand.
unfortunate ones,
Sure.
and that's exactly where I have sort of transferred my. Yeah, please.
No, I want to connect back with my viewers and say to them that, we do say that, we have divided the society into different parts, but let us all grow up and accept that, no occupation should be looked down upon, because one does what one does because of their needs. We all work because we need to earn our livelihoods, and it could be in whatever form. So let's respect them. Thank you so much. Please go ahead, sir. You were saying something.
Yeah, so that's the reason that, if I could even improve one child,
Yes.
or, give someone who is on the verge of dying, if I can give the Ganga Jal, or, if the Quran Sharif put
Yes.
on the personality's chest, and the road upwards to heaven
Yep.
becomes comfortable, I think I've done my job.
Yep.
Because I'm not into religion. I'm very spiritual. I don't believe in any other ways. There is a maker somewhere.
Yes.
And as Mother Teresa would say, I would, keep teasing Mother Teresa. And I said, Ki, Ma, where do you get your money?
Yeah.
He said, I don't know all this. And he would point upstairs and said, mad people, they know upstairs what they're doing. I'm
Wow.
only interested in my work. Ma would always say this.
I
And
would
that's
say,
exactly.
I would say that, she was an angel on this earth, and she left behind more angels. She left people like you behind to take all this forward. Thank you so much, sir. I would like to ask you on this: that did you decide to serve the community all by yourself, or did you and did you have any apprehensions, about how your decision may work out? Who was your guiding force to all this? I do
As I
understand it was
told
Mother
you,
Teresa, but
yeah, as I
otherwise.
told you, one part of my conversation, I don't know Bengali,
Mhm.
but I do know one song sung by Ravindranath, Akla Chalo. If the world doesn't come with you, you go alone.
Right.
Dandi March was all about that. He
Mhm.
picked up the salt and said, I'm not going to pay the tax. So
Mhm.
when I started this journey, I was alone.
Right.
As the journey started growing, I understood that I need to leave a legacy for others to follow.
Mhm.
So that's where Jhumki came in, along with my wife, because there were times when my wife was a disbeliever and Jhumki would prop her up, because you see, in the corporate world, I was earning in lakhs,
Right.
right? I was then when I retired and I was doing soft skill training, I was
Right.
charging about 75,000 rupees per day. And
Wow.
here I'm breaking my fixed deposits to pay for the poor. That didn't go very well with my family.
Of course.
And even today, there are times where I have to, the mix and match, wages, salary, and donations. You're absolutely right. Indians don't like to donate. We are 124th out
Is
of
that right?
104 countries. Yeah, that's the United Nations scorecard today. We are 124th, unfortunately.
That is
So
so sad. Yes.
that's so sad. That's so sad.
Yes.
And
And
today, another thing, and there's absolutely, I stay very near Kali Ghat, the mandir,
okay.
the goddess Kali, and the pandits, the priests, there have no food because the temples are closed.
All
I
right.
don't see going to them. So it's either donation directly to God, okay, or it's no donation, but people that are intermediaries that take us to God, the priests, and in fact, we give them food.
Right.
So my
Wow.
catch is what I don't believe in religion, and I'm feeding religious people, and the affluent and all that keep telling me on Facebook, you're doing a superb job, keep at it, God bless you, but no money coming. So I'm
I
sure this chat you have, the NRIs send a lot of money. They do. God bless
sure.
all of you who are listening. Because
It's
without funds, we can't do anything.
it's a
Without funds, we just can't do anything.
sure.
Yeah, please.
Sure, right. It also could be this that there are so many places where donations are required back there at home. So maybe people are involved in donating at different places. That also could be one of the reasons that
But
it doesn't.
124th in the world
Right, I
is
understand what you mean.
very, very
Yes.
tough.
So, sir,
But when you look at Punjab,
right.
Punjabis, they
Yes,
donate without anything.
sure.
And I've worked in Punjab for 4 years. I've seen them donate.
I
Big heart,
understand what you
big heart.
mean. Right, sir. So, sir, what kind of struggles did you face, to start this NGO that you run right now?
Money, money was the biggest.
Wow.
Nothing else.
Hmm. Okay.
Nothing else, because I'm
Really?
not political, but I'm very well politically connected. Uh, but I faced no trouble at all.
Right.
The
Right.
only trouble I faced was money
Uh-huh.
and people not comfortable. My own family is not comfortable that I'm working with sex workers.
I was about
So
to
that,
ask you on this,
yeah.
that, have
So
you,
it's a
right.
huge taboo of some of my relatives
Okay.
not enjoying the fact that an affluent boy, why is he doing it? There are so many other poor people. Why them?
Mhm.
This is
Why
to
not
honor
then?
my sister. No, but this is to honor my sister. She was working in a dance bar,
Sure.
and she had to sell herself to feed me and my alcoholic mother. So why not? So
Right.
why
And
not?
where is she now, sir?
Heaven, I hope.
Oh, I'm sorry
She's
to
in
hear
heaven.
that.
She expired some time back. But it's all for Didi. I mean, this is the inspiration as my sister and Mother Teresa.
Mm-hmm.
And I have young kids like Junki and
Right.
a lot of them.
Right. So, sir, do you have any government aid that has been given to you, or is it purely run on donations?
NGOs are not paid by the government for doing anything.
Oh, all right. Okay. Okay, I understand. So, sir, what message would you leave behind for the viewers? What would you like to tell them, and how would you nudge all of us to take that extra step, you know, to do something for the society?
Okay, 3, 4 catch lines, and maybe I've borrowed it from others. One is each one feed one.
Each one
So
feed one. Wow.
That's one. Second is each one teach one.
Nice.
Each one teach one.
Okay.
And the third one for the footpath people is let's bring the smile back on the roads.
Lovely.
That was the third one. The last one is
each one feed one, each one teach one, and bring a smile on those who are on the footpath. Okay, and
the last one is no one should sleep hungry at night.
oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Thank you. Thank you, sir, for that impactful message you leave behind with us. My goodness. Thank you so much. Viewers, please follow Mr. Arup Sengupta on his Facebook page, Notun Jibon, which is NOTUNJIBON. The link will be provided in the description. Let us all contribute for a good reason. There's so much that this gentleman has shared with us, and different ways that we can step forward and do things. So let us all contribute for a good reason. A link has been provided where you all can send in your donations, and please do so. Let us come together to make this project run into an absolute success. Thank you very much, sir, for talking to us and for guiding us to do our bit for the society. After all, we're all here for a reason, and let us find the reason to make this world a happier place to live in. Thank you, viewers, for supporting my channel. Please continue to like, subscribe, and share. I'll see you next week with a new guest. Till then, take care, everyone. Thank you, sir.